Good evening and welcome to KMTV. I'm Andy Richards. Your top stories tonight. Viola fiddled from train. Unemployment down. And just incredible, boss hails Jill's start. But first tonight, a murder probe has been launched after the body of a Kent man was found wrapped in plastic and dumped in woodland. The decomposing remains of Hidar Askalal from Margate were discovered partially buried in Epping Forest, north-east London. The 53-year-old was last seen alive in Green Lanes in the early hours of Monday, the 17th of August. It's not known how long his body was lying there before it was found by a member of the public. A man who stole an antique instrument worth more than £300,000 has heard his fate today. Karina Hallström has the details.
This was the moment Stephen Tillier was caught on CCTV stealing an antique instrument worth £300,000. The 49-year-old from Gloucester Close in Hawkinge is seen walking towards the instrument, which was left on the train by a member of the London Symphony Orchestra. He had also denied the theft of a schoolboy's rucksack, which had also been forgotten by a passenger, both of which he left in the boot of his car after leaving the service at Folkestone West. However, after arriving at Canterbury Crown Court today, a judge rejected his claims that he intended to return the items, saying he'd had plenty of time to do so. In fact, the items stayed in the boot of his car until he was confronted by a police officer at the same train station 2 days later. He's now been handed a 6-month suspended sentence, as well as being ordered to do 150 hours of unpaid work in the community. He'll also have to pay £3,500 in prosecution costs. This is Karina Hallström for KMTV.
Dole queues across the county are going down according to figures released today. Unemployment is down in the county. Aidan Gregory has more.
Dole queues around the county have shrank, bucking a national trend. Places such as Swale and Dartford have seen their numbers drop, but places such as Ashford and Gravesham have seen an increase in numbers coming through their doors. This begs the question whether more still needs to be done if we're to tackle the national employment rate. There were 154 fewer people on unemployment benefits in August compared to the month before, bringing the county's total to just above 16,000. But is the decrease in figures temporary?
IT services and things like that, retail, hospitality, construction, everything is growing. So for me, I don't think it's a temporary blip. I think it's about just making sure that people have got the skills that our employers need out there. We've got employers like Amazon and BMW moving into the area, so that can only be positive for our area. But the South East has one of the lowest unemployment rates. It's the second in the country. So we're also quite close to the city. So there's work, we can move people into work.
And finally, it's now 8 weeks into the new football season and the Gills are still sitting at the top of League One. Jem Collins has the latest.
Another weekend, another win for the Gills, this time at home against Blackpool. An own goal from Ryan Jackson might have ruined their chances of a clean sheet, but the side still walked away with a full 3 points and, most importantly, still sitting at the top of League One. The next clash for the young side comes in the form of Colchester United, but while their opponents are a full 18 places below them, a first win of the season against Sheffield United yesterday means the Gills boss won't be resting easy.
Well, I knew before that last night's game that we'd have a challenge. I think they're pretty much a group of, like ourselves, very young, enthusiastic. What last night's result did was conclude for us that it's going to be a difficult game, as every game between now and the end of the season and what's gone on before will be and has been. You know, we're showing the respect that they quite clearly deserve.
This is Jem Collins at Priestfield for KMTV.
So now it's time for the weather. Unfortunately, the wet conditions we've seen today are set to continue overnight. There's rain throughout the county this evening with reasonable winds and a temperature of 15 or 16 degrees Celsius. But there's better news on the way for tomorrow. The sun's coming out. There should be sunny spells in most parts of Kent, but it's staying a bit cooler at 15 degrees. Well, that's it for tonight. We'll be back tomorrow with more great video news from across the county. Don't forget you can follow us on Twitter and Facebook, and you can also get in contact with us by emailing productionkmtv@thekmgroup.co.uk. Have a great evening. We'll see you soon. Good night.